Something big is going on with Justin Tucker, and it's the kind of news that makes you stop whatever you're doing. Out of nowhere, after months completely off the radar, he just got a chance nobody saw coming, and this one move could flip his entire NFL future. It's one of those stories that starts quiet and suddenly turns into something everyone wants to keep an eye on, wondering what's about to happen next. And the wild part is that this opportunity shows up right when everything around him is full of doubts, pressure, and controversy. But there's a hidden detail in all of this that makes the whole situation even more intense. And once you understand why he got this call, you'll see exactly why this became one of the most unexpected headlines of the week. Stick with me, because this twist might surprise you more than you think. Justin Tucker spent a long time away from the NFL, and it felt like people had basically moved on from him after he left the Ravens at the end of 2024. But then something finally shifted, that spark that changes everything. A team actually reached out and asked him to show what he still has. It's like when someone that's been gone forever suddenly gets a chance to prove themselves again, and you instantly think, okay, now things are getting interesting. For months, no one knew if any team would take that risk. He was coming off a major suspension, and a season where he definitely didn't look like the Tucker everyone was used to. But even with all that, his name still carried weight. When someone says Justin Tucker, you already know the level of player they're talking about. And what's even more surprising is that, despite everything, Tucker still had a ton of respect across the league. That's why, when this opportunity showed up, it almost felt inevitable, like the timing finally lined up in his favor. Now, with his official tryout, he gets the chance to show whether he's still the same reliable kicker people trusted for so many years. This moment opens a door that felt locked for a long time, and the best part is what it could mean from here on out. Because this invitation wasn't random, a team genuinely wants to see if he still has it. And that leads us straight into the next point. Why the Saints decided to bring Tucker in for this workout. The New Orleans Saints decided to hold a workout with several kickers to figure out who could help them in this messy stretch of the season. And here's the part that jumps out. Justin Tucker was on that list. Anytime a team includes a big-name veteran like him in a group like that, it means they want a real, up-close look at what he can still do. And that instantly changes the tone. This wasn't a small, symbolic workout. It was a real evaluation, the kind where every single kick matters. The Saints wanted consistency, confidence, and control, the exact traits that defined Tucker's entire career. And even after being away for so long, the fact that he was standing there among the other kickers tells you there's still room for a potential comeback. And you can feel how the whole situation shifts the moment he steps on the field. Tucker's presence alone raises the level of competition. Everyone knows that if he nails a few clean kicks, the conversation inside the building changes instantly. His experience carries weight, and that's exactly what the Saints wanted to see with their own eyes. This workout doesn't explain everything by itself, but it shows the exact moment where the story starts heating up. The battle for that roster spot is officially on. And that leads to another layer in all of this, the part of Tucker's past that still follows him everywhere he goes. And that takes us straight into the next topic. Even with this new chance in front of him, Tucker still carries the weight of suspension that kept him out of the first 10 games of the season. Everything started with allegations of sexual misconduct made by women who had worked with him as massage therapists. He denied the accusations, but the NFL investigated the case, handed down the suspension, and that label stuck around his name. There's no way to pretend it doesn't exist. When he was reinstated on November 11th, a lot of people expected a team to jump on the opportunity. But that's not what happened. Teams stayed quiet, watching from a distance. It was almost like everyone had the same thought. Is it worth taking on all that backlash? And on top of that, there was the issue of his rough season the year before. That combination, the suspension, the accusations, the decline in performance, made his comeback way harder than it would be for pretty much any other kicker. It wasn't just a technical evaluation. Teams had to weigh the football side and the public image side, and that creates a shadow that hangs over any opportunity he gets. But the fact that the Saints gave him a tryout means someone finally decided to look past that shadow. They wanted to evaluate the player, not the controversy. And that opens the door to talk about the football part with more clarity. And speaking of performance, There's a key detail about Tucker that explains why some teams still hesitate, which leads us directly into the next topic.
All right, we're already past the halfway point of this video, but before we continue, I noticed you haven't left a like yet. It's really important because it helps YouTube keep showing you my content so I can keep bringing you the best news about the Baltimore Ravens. So go ahead and hit that like button. It's free and it really helps. Thanks. Now let's get back to it.
Justin Tucker is widely known as one of the most accurate kickers in NFL history, but 2024 was nothing like the rest of his career. He hit only 73.3% of his field goals, the worst season he's ever had. When someone that reliable suddenly dips like that, teams can't help but worry. It's like seeing a famous clock that's always perfect suddenly start losing time. And it doesn't matter how great your resume is if your present moment doesn't inspire confidence. Teams care about what you can do right now. That decline made every franchise slow down before making any move. It was the kind of year that creates doubts even around the most respected names in the league. But at the same time, his career is impossible to ignore. We're talking about a guy with 7 Pro Bowls, 5 first-team All-Pro selections, and nearly 90% accuracy across his entire career. Almost no one has numbers like that. And that legacy keeps the door open. Because teams always think, what if he still has one more good run in him? And that tug-of-war between decline and comeback is exactly where Tucker stands right now, in the middle of huge expectations. But there's also a very clear reason why the Saints are even exploring another kicker. Their current guy is struggling, and that leads us straight into the final topic. While all of this is unfolding, Blake Grupe is going through a really rough stretch. He's hitting under 70% of his kicks this season. And for an NFL kicker, that number is a big red flag. His 2 latest misses from 38 and 47 yards came in a game that was already tough for the Saints. And when those kind of misses start piling up, the pressure becomes impossible to ignore. The Saints need stability, and Grupe hasn't been providing that lately. A team can live with a bad kick here and there, but when it becomes a pattern, patience runs out fast. That's exactly when names like Justin Tucker enter the conversation, because a veteran with that much experience can bring the calm the team is missing. This puts Grupe in a really tough spot, because every practice, every attempt, every moment now carries extra weight. When someone like Tucker is being evaluated right next to your job, every mistake gets louder. And the coaching staff knows they have a decision that can't wait too long. Now, the future of that kicker position depends on what Tucker showed in that workout and how much the Saints believe he can still deliver. It's the kind of competition that can shift the direction of an entire season and put the kicker position right at the center of attention in New Orleans. After everything Justin Tucker has gone through, month away from the NFL, controversy, a sharp decline, and now the surprise tryout with the Saints, it's clear we're watching a moment that could reshape his entire career. With the pressure building in New Orleans, Grupe struggling, and Tucker getting a rare shot at redemption, this story is wide open in a way nobody expected back when the season started. Now I want to hear from you. Do you think Tucker truly deserves this new opportunity, or should the Saints move in another direction? Either way, one thing's certain. Things just got serious. The clock is ticking, and the next few days might decide a lot more than who kicks the next field goal. They might decide the future of one of the greatest kickers the NFL has ever seen.
And if you, just like me, are passionate about the world of football and want to learn more about the Ravens' legacy, don't leave this video without sharing it with that friend who is also a Baltimore Ravens fan and will love this content. See those video suggestions on your screen? The first one was handpicked just for you, and the other is a recommendation from YouTube itself.